Franchise is, as described by Investopedia, a type of license that a party acquires to allow them to have access to a business's knowledge, processes, and trademarks. Acquiring the title of franchisees comes with benefits and its drawbacks, which impel a thorough evaluation from the buyer. Elements such as the competitive environment, the external factors influencing the business settings, as well as the benefits and the requirements coming from the franchisor are to be considered and taken into account when electing a franchise to invest in.
Cora Breakfast and Lunch is not the only company offering breakfast, it is therefore not a monopoly. There are many breakfast restaurants across Canada, it can therefore be considered an open competition. Furthermore, Cora Breakfast and Lunch franchisors cannot decide at what price they will set the menu items since they must keep in mind that there are other breakfast restaurants. If they decided to set the prices higher, they would probably gain less money, therefore they cannot decide the prices. Other companies with similar products and the fact that the franchisors cannot decide the prices are elements of an open competition. However, Cora Breakfast and Lunch, being the number one breakfast restaurant in Canada, is dominating the industry it is in. Thus, it can also be considered an oligopoly. The franchise has elements from both open competition and oligopoly, thus its level of competition is a little bit of both. The direct competitors of Cora Breakfast and Lunch are Egg Smart and Fabergé. An example of an indirect one is Tim Hortons.
Cora Breakfast and Lunch is proud to reveal the fresh new menu. Always generous and tasty, enjoy its new flavors at one of our 130 restaurants across Canada.
There are external factors that can affect a franchise, its franchisor, and its franchisee. For Cora Breakfast and Lunch, one external factor that can negatively affect the company is the social-cultural factor. The social-cultural factor is about the values and the attitudes of a population. It's also about religion, education, and language. Nowadays, people eat more fast food than before. People are also less patient and they like to have what they want when they want it. They're not used to wait anymore, so they don't want to wait. Usually, the franchises are always really full because they attract many customers. Therefore, the waiting time is longer, which can be deceiving and force potential clients to leave and go to faster restaurants where there's fewer people, or to go to fast food restaurants like Tim Hortons. If many people leave due to the waiting time, it affects the franchise. It sells fewer breakfasts and makes less money. It can also be harmful to their reputation if people decide to complain about the waiting time.
The franchisor of the company Cora Breakfast and Lunch offers multiple benefits. It offers an ongoing support and guidance from its team of dedicated professionals. It also offers a unique concept with the offering of a strong corporate research and development team constantly renewing the network's offering in response to consumer trends. Another benefit that the franchisor offers to the franchisee is a successful brand recognized as Canada's number one breakfast and lunch chain, which is good for the franchisees because they already know that the company works really well. A third offer that the franchisees benefit from is a proven innovative business model that serves original and high-quality products.
To have a Cora Breakfast and Lunch franchise, the franchisees have requirements that they have to meet. The total investment of the company is from $550,000 to $900,000 with a minimum of 40% in unencumbered equity. The unencumbered equity includes a $45,000 franchise fee and a $9,000 franchise training program cost. There are also ongoing fees that are involved, which are royalty, marketing, and others. For this franchise, the royalties are 6% of revenues, and for the advertising funds, it's 3% of revenues for the national advertising and 0.5% of revenues for the local marketing.
To own this franchise, the franchisees need to have some skills and knowledge to be successful. The franchisees need to master the operating system and have to be willing to be trained to the franchisor's standards. They also need to be enthusiastic, passionate, and driven. They also need to be able to manage a top-notch business with the mission of offering Cora guests exceptional quality food and service in a warm, family atmosphere.
Every franchise needs to go through a SWOT analysis to know what its strengths, its weaknesses, its opportunities, and its threats are. For Cora Breakfast and Lunch, its main strength is that the menu offers a large variety of things to eat, from breakfast to lunch and with many choices that children and adults can choose from. One of its weaknesses is that the waiting time can be very long. It can even be up to 45 minutes. An opportunity would be that there are many restaurants and that this franchise occupies many territories, which helps to build a big clientele. A threat would be that there are many other breakfast restaurants, which means that if the waiting time is too long or that if any other problem occurs, customers can go elsewhere and get almost the same thing to eat.
Finally, this franchise is a really good opportunity for a franchisee since it is a great breakfast restaurant. It is the number one in Canada and has a large number of customers, which is a good thing to start with because the franchisee does not have to prove that the franchise is good. Moreover, the franchise decisions are almost all already made by the franchisors, which leaves the franchisee with the only task of recruiting new employees for the franchise to work well. The hard work is already done, which can help the franchisee to be less nervous about their new business. If the franchisee has the skills needed, everything points in the way of success for the franchise.